About a week ago, I started a new free-to-play account that had a challenge attached to it, because not having Kita-san Black wasn't a big enough nerf. I'm happy to report, though, that I have been sufficiently humbled. I really thought I had a decent handle on the game, but I didn't realize how heavily I relied on just a few support cards. Playing without them has been interesting, and worst of all, I was kind of given false hope when I started this run. For context, here are the rules I have to follow, starting with no looking up any Umas or support cards for the first week, and then gradually adding them back in over the coming weeks, all in an effort to try and hit Class 6 within the minimum time frame, and also winning a Champions Cup. Let me tell you how it's gone so far. Day 1 went surprisingly well. My very first run, I got a full limit broken Kita-san Black, and with my current support card pool, decided to go with Bakushin as my very first run. She's easy to train, has good growth, and with a half-decent parent from the recommended system, I was good to go. I was extremely greedy during this run, playing how I normally do on my main account, and even got Fast Learner without purchasing any skills about halfway through the run. This resulted in a Bakushin that is honestly not that bad, especially not as a first run. It also completed about 80 missions and challenges, and I had to stare at the banner showing completed missions for almost a whole minute. With this start, my confidence exploded. This is going to be so easy. Maybe I need to make the challenge harder. If I keep getting A's, it's going to be so boring. But don't worry, it goes downhill from here. The next run, I started using Vodka and a 3LB Kita-san Black. Unlike Bakushin, who just won every race easily, Vodka struggled, only winning about 60% of the races, but still managed to clutch out the finale and ended with some usable white sparks. Not bad. It was here I decided to stop using the random trainer Umas and only use my own, at least for the first week. This was the first run that didn't have Kita-san as an option, so I went with a full MLB Sweep Tosho, which was kind of a waste because I already had one, but there wasn't really any better options. I chose Agnes Tachyon as the third one to try and fill out my PvP team as much as I could, but now that we're getting into longer races, a gaping hole in my support team was noticed. I had trouble with stamina cards. The run with Tachyon ended with a second place finals finish, and this was the first failure run. This did show me, however, that the cards we got from our polls were pretty good for pace chasers, and that was going to have to be the dominant strategy for most of our horses for the foreseeable future. For the final run of the day, we got a 0LB Kita-san, and I decided to go with Grass Wonder. This run struggled even more than Tachyon since we were trying to build her as a long racer, and honestly, we couldn't even finish the semifinals. This really hammered home that the strategy we were using wasn't going to work. We did get a 2-star speed spark out of her though, so not all is lost. I completed all the mile races with Bakushin, got a bunch of carrots, and did my first team's trial getting into the promotion tier easily. With week 1 objective down, we now have time to try and build some decent parents to make better horses. Day 2, I came in with a plan for my future trials team. I looked at what everyone had for the 1 and 2 star Umas and decided to try and build out the following team with a 3-star selector ticket to fill in any holes. For day 2, our first run was Haru, who got a 1LB Kita-san, and outside of losing a lot of early races and causing me to panic because we weren't going to get the fans we needed, she did rather well. She got both charming and practice perfect early and went on to clear all of her goals with relative ease, but just couldn't finish the URA championship and got second place. It's going to be a pretty common theme. Her sparks were also not that great. Second run of the day was Daiwa Scarlet, using Haru and Tachyon as parents, and for support cards we got a full MLB Super Creek, and since we were going for miles, I thought that would be enough to carry our stamina gains, and went with a mostly speed team. It's here where I realized just how good Kita-san really is, because from here on out, all of my runs were severely lacking on power, and that's just something I'm going to have to learn to deal with and play around, because the simple +1 bonus from Kita-san just adds so much free power over the course of the run, and I was really missing it. Her run went rather well, letting us become URA champion once again, and giving us an S+ in speed, which is very usable for a fresh account, and we even got some decent speed sparks out of her. Run 3 was Gold Ship, and we just couldn't get anything going for her. We did get a full MLB Measure McQueen stamina card, but that didn't really help us out much during the run, and she kept failing races, so even with decent speed and stamina, she couldn't even complete her own goals, getting second place in the Ari McKinnon and our first C+ rank of the run. Again, long-distance runners were going to be especially difficult on an account like this, and we would likely have to wait until we did more support card pulls in hopes of increasing our stat sticks. The final run of the day, I decided to start trying to make a parent. Measure Orion. We got a full MLB Special Week card and slotted in 2 stamina cards, hoping it would be enough to clear her campaign, except I forgot how many races were long and didn't get her the parents to get an A affinity. I used up all my alarm clocks halfway through the run, and the only thing that got me to the end was some relatively good RNG on rainbow trainings to get speed and stamina both above 600, but failed the final R McKinnon running, ending with another B rank. But we did get another 2-star speed spark, making her a 6-star speed parent. Day 3 started off the worst so far. I tried to do a winning ticket run that used up all its clocks trying to win the Japanese Derby halfway through her golds, and managed to actually do it, but couldn't clear the following race and ended up with no usable sparks on our first D rank of the run. It's about this time I realize my strategy just has to change. Now at 14k carats, we did do some polls on stream, which by the way, if you want to see more stuff like this, subscribe and let me know. Opting to do 2 10 polls on the Meisho Doto banner, which we did get in just 12 polls. We then spent the remaining on the Tokai Teo banner to try and get more support cards, and it's about this time I realized there were 4 more support cards that I could have been using this entire time that would have really helped. So I speedran the story chapters to get our new cards and proceeded to do a run with our newly acquired Doto, who is unbelievably cute. We actually ended up clearing the URA finale borrowing a 0 LB Tokai Teo, but we didn't really have any better options at the time, and we also didn't get any good sparks. We then tried to run with Gold Chip with a 0 LB Yaino Muteki strength card that couldn't even get past the Arumi Keenan. Again, we were so desperate we even tried making her run as a pace chaser just because she had an S aptitude during the run, but it just wasn't enough. Not wanting to end on that bad of a note, I tried again with Gold Ship, this time getting a 3 LB Super Creek, which made the entire run so much easier, and another 10 pull to get an MLB King Halo. We at least made it to the semifinals, and to my surprise, even with almost 900 speed and 1000 stamina, we just couldn't close it out. Maybe day 4 will be better. We started off the day with a Machikane Fukukitaru run with a 0 LB Super Creek. The run honestly felt really great, getting Friendship online early and reaching the finale with 800 stamina and speed, but it just wasn't enough to get the victory and no sparks to show for it, ending up with a B rank. Run 2 was with King Halo and another 0 LB Super Creek. Where'd all the Kita-sans go? And I was feeling good about our chances until I realized I couldn't use the King Halo card, which had been getting us a lot of free speed and strength. Low rolling on our friendship trainings led us to fail career objectives, giving us another C+ rank. Third run of the day was with Nice Nature and a Max LB Mejiro Dober, and once again, things felt like they were going pretty okay, until I made the mistake of only having 2 stamina cards again, burning all of the clocks on the Aruma Keenan, and failing the Takarazuka Keenan right after. This was the worst run so far, coming in with a C rank. For the last run, I decided to try and get a better Meisho Doto, and we lucked out with a 3 LB Kita-san Black, and this run went exceptionally well. Kita-san and Super Creek both procced their chain events almost immediately, which let us have Swinging Maestro for most of the races, covering our stamina gap. Overall, a significant improvement and a nice ending to an otherwise pretty bad day. Day 5 once again began with a Haru run, using a 2 LB Kita-san Black. This one was a little touch and go, but thanks to some really nice early stamina stacking, we managed to cover all our needs all the way until the finale, where Haru finally took home the W. Next up was Tachyon, who got a full MLB Special Week speed card and almost cleared 1000 speed, but didn't have the stamina to finish the finale, and ended with another B rank. For medium style racers, I think I'm just gonna have to use 3 stamina cards from here on out, because it always seems to be my weakness, at least until I can start using stamina parents. This run did finally let us get the claw machine with 3 prizes and allowed us to get us our random 3-star Uma, which turned out to be Ogre Cap, a much needed dirt racer for us. Oh my gosh, I got Ogre Cap. Oh my gosh. Deciding to do a run with our newly acquired Uma, we got a full MLB Super Creek, which was the only stamina card we ended up running, and despite some trouble with the early races getting severely blocked and burning a few clocks, Ogre found her footing about halfway through the run and proceeded to clear the finals easily, giving us yet another A rank Uma in our first week. It was also an S rank Pace Chaser and our second 6-star Uma parent. I ended up not doing the 4th run for the day because I was participating in a creator run Rust server, but honestly after that A rank I was feeling pretty good. Day 6 was the day of Air Groove. We started with a 3 LB Kita-san and 3 stamina cards this time, but we couldn't get the rainbow trainings to line up and barely broke a B+ in speed and B in stamina, which caused us to fail the finale run. It's about this time I finally joined my own club so I could start farming club points. The last 3 I tried to join all had no one requesting, so while 10 points a day isn't much, it is enough to actually limit break the free cards once, even if slowly. Air Groove Run 2 had a full Manhattan Cafe limit break that we used, but again, we just couldn't get anything off the ground. This time we got almost 900 speed, but couldn't break the 600 stamina barrier and failed at the semifinals. Run 3 had a full LB Ice and Flash, but this time we got friendship trainings to line up much easier because we got the Charming status early. This is a pretty common occurrence for any runs that actually managed to finish. We got to the finals with over 1000 speed and 600 stamina, making Air Groove our 7th Uma to beat the finale. Having conquered this demon, I decided to try and get another Haru run going. We got another full LB Manhattan Cafe, and this time we got Charming on turn 3, so you know where this is going. Over 1100 speed, 400 stamina, and just shy of 600 power, this was our new best sprinter. Congrats, Haru, you've done us proud. We're finally to the end of the first week, and we started off with the single most frustrating run I have ever had. We got a beautiful MLB Kita-san Black, and then proceeded to get mooed down 9 times before reaching the halfway point of her career. Unbelievably bad luck. At least we made up for it by doing some more polls on stream, getting both Kurin-chan and Sayun Sky. I actually don't know what I'm supposed to do with Sayun Sky because we have no frontrunner cards. If we want to build her, we have to rely so heavily on borrowed Umas and support cards that she's probably not even going to be an option until a few more weeks into this run. We used our selector to pick up Taiki's shuttle and decided to do a run with her immediately, getting a 1LB Tokai Teo card, and had amazing luck for the friendship training. She did still manage to fail a 5% friendship training though, so not perfect, but we ended up with our first speed capped Uma and our new best sprinter. For the final run of the first week, we did Kurin-chan, who had something happen that I didn't even know was possible. Not a single time in the 14 races we used her in did she proc her unique skill. Don't get me wrong, we got a full MLB Kita-san and had a great run overall, but I would just like to know how. How did it never proc? All in all, this is a very strong first week. Couple of strong Umas, and starting tomorrow, I get to borrow parent Umas, which will instantly increase my ability to clear medium and long races, as well as build awesome parents. This week has been a straight roller coaster of relearning what is important in this game, and a very cruel reminder that at the end of the day, it's all RNG, even if you can influence it a lot. I'm going to make another video going over everything I think a new player should know after having re-experienced what it's like in the beginning, or if you just want to see if I can reach my goal of winning a Champions Cup and also hitting class 6 in PvP in just 5 weeks, subscribe or let me know what else you might want to see. Here's all the runs we did, here's the update counter of all of our polls, and here's our PvP high score of the week. But for now, I've got more Umas to train. I'll see y'all later.